I can tell you right now that what helped me most growing up was having parents who accepted me for who I was. Even though I wasn't diagnosed until I was 17, I still had autistic behaviors. Behaviors that I wasn't punished for. I was loud, I was blunt, I stimmed, I hyperfixated, and no one tried to change that. I think the the only way my parents tried to fix me was trying to help me with my lack of physical grace. I stomp when I walk and have always had balance issues. So my parents put me into dance class, but they didn't get angry at me when, after 3 years, I still sounded like a herd of elephants when I walked. I spent a lot of time alone in my room, but no one would ever barge in and force me to be social. I was obsessed with Sailor Moon and eventually just anime in general. And my family just went along with it. I even got some of my family into anime. These things were just part of me. And when I was finally diagnosed, nothing changed. The most happened was my mom going, "Of course! It all makes sense now!" She knew what Asperger's was since she had worked with someone with Asperger's.
That sounds like a very, very thing. Like that sounds like a very your mom thing to say too. But
Yes.
of course.
um, I was incredibly lucky to be born with such an amazing family, but not everyone else is. I used to know this autistic guy. All his life, he was told that he'd never amount to anything, that he was nothing but a burden and a waste of space. Want to know what he'd done in his life when I met him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He didn't even have plans for the future because he didn't think he could achieve anything. His self esteem was so low. After being raised, being told that he was nothing, he believed it. Children are incredibly impressionable. And if you tell them that they'll never become anything, guess what? It's going to happen. Tell a child that they're stupid, they're gonna believe they're stupid. Tell a child they've done nothing but make your life worse, they're going to believe it. In the Autism Speaks 100-Day Kit, it explains how basically everything wrong in your life, be it marital problems, financial problems, or family problems, is all the fault of your child's autism. Autism is a part of an autistic person. So having a kid grow up believing that everything wrong in their family's life is their fault is really going to screw them up. The kit also says how you should mourn the neurotypical child you hope for, but didn't get because of autism. Can you imagine that? Your parent mourning the loss of the child they wanted you to be? All you did was be born with autism, and now they're wishing you were someone else. Parents, please don't think that just because your child is autistic, that they'll be completely oblivious to all of this. There are things that happened in my childhood that I didn't get at the time, but later realized was bad. Ways that some people treated me or acted around me. Your child may not understand it now, but they will later, and it will crush them. They may come to believe that they're worthless, or they may come to resent you, or both. I remember reading this one thing, and it went something like this: if you're not ready to have a disabled child, or an autistic child, or a gay child, or a trans child, you're not ready to have a child. You can't just assume that your child is going to be exactly what you want them to be. I don't know how difficult it is to be a parent. I'm not a parent, nor do I plan on becoming one. So I hope that doesn't make you see my opinion as lesser. However, even though I can't see things from a parent's perspective, I can see things from an autistic child's perspective. We autistic adults were once autistic children. I know, shocker. So we may be able to see things from your child's point of view better than you might be able to. It's why the autistic community is such a good place to come for advice. Neurotypical doctors like to think that they know what it's like to be in the head of an autistic person. But you know who understands the working of the autistic mind better than them? People with autistic minds. We speak from lived experiences.